Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Taco Rick channel for the long overdue, extremely overdue, full Borla Cat Back exhaust install. So for you guys that do not follow the channel, I've had this Borla exhaust, can't even tell you how long. I think, yeah, right here, 12/20. I bought this in the December of 2020, and it is currently February of 2023. And sort of the main reason why that never got installed is because of what I'm standing in right now. The new house, the garage, all that fun stuff, because we purchased this property in the January-February timeframe of 21. So literally right after I bought that exhaust, when I planned on installing it, one, it was freezing cold because it was wintertime, and two, we bought a house right after that, and then three, we started renovating this house, so that occupied pretty much all of my time. We're finally getting to it now that the house is pretty much finished, the garage is pretty much finished. Well, I say pretty much because there's always room for improvement. Like, I just added this. It basically, I moved the compressor to the front of the garage, put in some new outlets, and you get a cover for it right there. And now I have a nice retractable hose with air wherever I need it. We got retractable outlets in the ceiling as well. So anyways, let me go grab my camera tripod and we're gonna unbox this for the first time ever. So again, Cat Back exhaust. So we have the connector that's going to connect to where we're going to take off the old exhaust. We have the hanger, or not the hangers, but the clamp connectors that'll clamp in between. We have the muffler itself, and we have the end pipe with that glorious blacked out tip. I'm going to leave the bubble wrap on there until we get to that. But now, oh, I also bought an exhaust. This is for the hangers, to remove the hangers easily. I bought that tool for like 20 bucks on Amazon. I'm going to get reading the instructions because it's been quite a while since I researched how to install this or take the old one off. Figured out. So not gonna lie, it seems very straightforward to do, like I expected. Pretty much just gonna have to unbolt two things, which is where the exhaust is, and then remove the exhaust from the exhaust hangers. We do need to get some tools out, which basically are our socket set. We need a 15 and a 14 millimeter socket, and we need some 3-inch drivers, etc. I'm gonna try and use my impact for all that and get it nice and good. But we're also gonna get the WD-40 out to try and break loose some of these bolts as well, and the exhaust hangers. Try and lubricate those so that way it makes it easier to pull off the exhaust. So let's take a look underneath the truck and see how this is all gonna work. As you can see, the original exhaust has been used and abused. Let's see how hot she is. I did just get back from driving. It's not too bad. So right there is where we're gonna be unbolting this right here. We're gonna remove this from the exhaust hanger here. There are two of them on the front side, and then there's one exhaust hanger at the front for the actual tailpipe. But this is all that we're gonna be removing and replacing with the nice Borla exhaust. So let's go ahead and spray some WD-40 on all these connections and go from there. And looking from the backside, those are the other two exhaust hangers right there. And then the last one is right here at the exit. So again, we're just gonna hit with some WD-40. Try to make it a little bit easier to take these off. Now, while I'm letting the WD-40 go to work and loosen these up, I will point out that I've seen from many videos of trying to install this that it's pretty much impossible, or it's going to take you forever and you're going to be cussing like a sailor if you don't get one of these right here. This is to be able to remove those hangers from up there. So this tool right here is going to work wonders for that. Supposedly, we're going to find out. I also want to point out that I'm not doing a before test on the audio. One, because I already know what it sounds like prior to it. It's a stock Tacoma exhaust. And if you're watching this video right now, you also know what a stock Tacoma exhaust sounds like. Thirdly, this camera audio is going to do absolutely zero justice to explaining if this is better or worse. The one thing you're gonna have to rely on is my personal opinion as to what the sound has been improved. Now, I will say, when I set out to buy this exhaust, my goal was not to make this obnoxiously loud. All I wanted was a little bit of a deeper growl to the V6 engine, just something a little bit more noticeable. I was not going for basically straight pipe, and it was not my goal at all in the purchase. So that's why I landed on the Borla exhaust system, because it adds a nice deep aggressive tone to it that you can't get with the factory exhaust. Also pointing out, I do have a K&N air intake on the front of the truck, so it's a, I'll open the hood. So my engine bay absolutely needs to be cleaned. If you've not seen my mods to this, but I've added hood struts to these, the lights up here that are on this nice little switch, so at night it makes it super easy to see everything in the engine bay. Needs cleaned obviously, but I do have a K&N cold air intake right here on the side side, and I have a full video installing this as well, which was very simple installation. That is actually very much overdue for a cleaning as well. That's probably something I'm gonna work on while doing this. I will also point out that and rotating the tires were two things I set out to do today, so we're gonna get working on that. So just like I mentioned, got the K and air filter over here. I just sprayed it down with the power clean stuff. Gonna let that soak in for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're gonna go rinse that out, let it dry, hit it with some new oil, and then clean it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the first process of removing the old exhaust, which is to undo the bolts, and then we're gonna get to the exhaust. Y'all better not knock Ryobi. That's a Ryobi 1/2 inch impact, light work. So I went ahead and added some jack stands here. It's recommended to have some sort of thing to hold the exhaust muffler up as you're taking these pins off. So I'm gonna start with this pin. It should all fall forward, and then I'll go with the last remaining 3. All right, I will say, you got the right tools, it makes it easy. This bad boy right here, I couldn't even imagine trying to get those off without this. Well worth the 25 bucks. So now I have to shimmy this thing out of its location all the way out. So wish me luck, this might be the hardest part. Well, I lied, as you saw. That was pretty easy. I should really wear some gloves though. Now back to the instructions to see how we install the new one, but so far, so good. So after reading the directions, again, very simple and easy to follow. So the first thing we're gonna do is take the first connection and hand tighten that up in there with the bolts, making sure it's in the right orientation. Then we're gonna slide one of the clamps over that. Then we're going to mount up this, put it into place, and get it onto the hangers. And then we're gonna slide another clamp over that. And then we're gonna put the end piece on and put that hanger on, and then we'll go back through and tighten everything up. So here we go. And it may be helpful to keep the exhaust next to you, so that way you can look at it and see the orientation of how this goes in. So this bend right here, you can see, I don't want it that way. I want it this way. So I'm gonna want the exhaust to bend up like this. So it's gonna wanna bend up. All right, we're gonna put it in. All right, so I got the exhaust ready to go in next. First thing we're gonna do is slip this clip over the pipe, the current pipe, and then we're gonna get all of these into place. So also, I already went ahead and sprayed some more WD-40 on the hangers to make it easier to slip them in. You don't need the tool for that, because the way you can see these end nipples here, they're basically easier to push in than they are to take off. So that's why you need the removal tool to make it easier to remove it. Get into place. So if you can see down here, pretty much I had to get this pipe lined up. That's why I left these screws not fully screwed in up here, or these bolts above me. And then my clamp is just on here, so that way we can slide it over top of this to make this sealed connection. Kind of the way I did this, if you saw, I slid the front 2 in over here, and I'll show you guys that here in a second. Slid the front 2 ones in, pushed it all the way that way. Then as I was lining up this pin right here, I had to make sure I got the pipe in, and I kind of used my hand here on this pipe and my other hand on the back of the muffler and push them together to be able to get this to sit right here. So with that done, we move on now to the back portion of the exhaust. So we're gonna get another clamp to put over there and the back portion, and we'll switch the camera angle up. Well, I'm not sure how much of that you guys got to see, but the way it worked, I had to slide the clamp on first and then hook the pipe up, so connect the pipes together, then seat this into the hanger over here. I do notice one problem right now. This exhaust seems to have a little bit of a bigger bend than the OEM one, and now it is touching right up against my oversized tire. So the factory tire probably wouldn't have this issue, but right now I'm looking at, we're gonna have an issue with my, this is like a 32.1 inch tire. It's a 275/65 R18, and this is my spare. And I'm gonna try and loosen this up and see if I can get enough shimmy to shimmy it over enough to not make that a problem. But we're on the next stage of bolting everything down. So I gotta go back to the instructions and read if they recommend starting up there and working my way back, or vice versa. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the front with the bolts and then work our way to all the clamps along the way. All right, trusty torque bar is out. We are going to be torquing down the bolts that connect the flange to 18 to 22. So I got it set to 20 inch-pounds, and then the clamps are going to be 33 to 35. So let's get it clamped down. Let's take the bubble wrap off the back, and then we'll be done. Well, I gotta adjust my tire a little bit, but hopefully it'll still fit. And the final piece de resistance. Taking off the bubble wrap. Ooh-wee. Look at that. Oh, that is nice. That is really nice. All right, sun's going down. Got the rock lights on. Lights are underneath. I told you these are pretty bright. Cold air intake, completely dried, oiled up, ready to go. And it's time to do the official first start with the new exhaust. I also have been going around and rotating the tires. That's why the hubcaps here. Hubcaps are off. If you guys are interested in learning how to do a 5-tire rotation, I have a whole video on it, but I still have to torque down the lug nuts to, I normally do 120 inch-pounds. Let me know if that's too low or too high. My research said about 120. Let me know in the comment section down below. But I'm gonna set you guys up at the exhaust, and I'm gonna use my phone to record my reaction to the first official startup. Cold start. Let's go. All right, official first cold start with the Borla Cat Back exhaust. I hear a car coming down the road, so I'm gonna wait a second. That is a much deeper tone. Let's give it a little gas. Let's go back there and see how it sounds. So, definitely a lower rumble, which is what I was looking for. I like it. All right, I'm not gonna end the video here, but I'm gonna check to make sure there's no leaks in the exhaust that I can tell. And then we'll probably go out and do some revs, because it always sounds better when you go through like underpass or something like that. And I'll give you guys a little bit more of a feedback on how it sounds. What's up, guys? Driving the truck around with the new exhaust. It's actually been about a week now with the new exhaust, and I gotta say, it is definitely a lot of what I just said originally on the video. It's not any louder. If anything, it's actually a little bit quieter, but I think that's because it's a deeper tone. It's not as high pitched anymore, which I traditionally, I really like the fact that it's got a deeper tone to the actual exhaust. And I think it opened up a lot of the airflow from the cold air intake to allow it flow back through the Cat Back exhaust now. And by doing that, the cold air intake is not as loud in the cabin as what it was previously. Definitely just, here, I'll floor real quick. So, in terms of the sound overall, it is a lot deeper of a tone than what I had on the stock Cat Back exhaust, but it's not really much aggressive. It's not that aggressive when it comes to how loud it is. I will say my favorite part of the new exhaust is the cold start. The cold start on it, just like, it's got like a deep rumble to it now, and I just think it sounds cool. So if you're looking to buy exhaust, this definitely adds a deeper tone. It looks better with the black tip, of course. But if you're looking for louder, this is not the exhaust for you. It's just a deeper tone. It helps open up, of course. It's a wider exhaust pipe, so it opens up the airflow through the back end a little bit more. So if you got a cold air intake, it's a nice complement to that. But yeah, that's pretty much my review. I hope you guys like this. If you did like the video, comment down below your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So hit the subscribe button. Taco Rick out. Peace.